Do you have kids? Do they know by heart a phone number to reach you in case of emergency? If not, I have just the ticket and we're going to dive into it today. But before we do, I want to say, hey, I'm Christy here at Crafty Christy's Creations. I'm here to help you master your silhouette. So what we are doing today is we're going to create an NFC tag. You're probably thinking, NFC, what the heck is that? Yeah, new to me as well, but it is these little stickers that have a computer chip in them. And NFC stands for Near Field Communication. And what these stickers do is they have little chips in them. You can take your phone and scan over them, and it will pop up on your phone the information that you have programmed onto these. And then you can tuck these little bad boys into anything. The only thing you cannot put them in is metal, because that will interfere with the radio frequency for it to read. But you can stick them in any other kind of material and they are easily readable. So we are going to create a little emergency contact keychain that you can put on a kid's backpack, lunchbox, something like that. And then we'll also discuss all the other ways that you can use these NFC stickers in your business, in your life. These are really neat little things. So let's jump into Silhouette Studio and get designing our keychain. So as you can see, I've got a little blank screen here, and I'm gonna come over and use my flexi shapes, and I'm gonna grab a heart. And we're just gonna click and drag out a heart. I wanna keep this kind of small. I think 3.5 inches roughly sounds good. And then you've got these little arrows here that you can use. They don't do so much on these hearts, but you can see it kind of helps move those hearts a little bit. I think that looks good. Same with this one, it just kind of moves them. Some of the other flexi shapes, the little circles will do other things. But once you have the shape that you like, we're gonna go ahead and right click and hit convert to path. Now it's a cuttable path. And I'm just gonna adjust the size. My aspect ratio is locked, and I'm gonna do a 3-inch wide. I think that's a good size. I like to just give this a fill color so we can see what we're working with, and then I'm gonna get rid of that outline. And we're gonna make this a keychain, so we need to put a little piece up here for it to connect with. And I think making that not 5 inches, 0.5 inch width will be fine. And then let's give it 1 inch of height. And I'm gonna go ahead and give this a different fill color just so we can see what we're doing here. And then I'm gonna zoom in. So the thing I'm looking at is you've got this little dip right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and cover all that up with this. Those little openings are just gonna weaken this, and I don't wanna weaken it any. I think I'm gonna make this, let's do 1.5 inches. We'll put that there. And then we're gonna take this one here and we are going to mirror it above. So you can see now they look the same. And then this guy here, I'm gonna bring it to the front with these little quick buttons so I can see where things are coming together. And then I'm just gonna try to center this the best I can through here. So these two pieces, I'm gonna group them together right now. So Control+G to group. And then everything here, I'm just gonna center. Okay, I like the way that looks. Everything looks good. You could decide that these need to be further apart and then you'll have more of a strap on there. So we could certainly do that. So Shift Control G to ungroup. And then I'm just going to zoom out. What I'm going to do is use my arrow keys and I'm just going to go tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to take this one and do the same. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's going to be a little gap between them, but that's fine. These are going to fold flat into each other, and that's just really going to give this strip here room to fold around the keychain that we're using. So I like that. Everything is good. We already lined everything up. So I'm going to come over here to my modify panel and I'm going to hit weld, and that is making it one big piece. So now that we've got that sorted out, the next thing I want to do is add some text on here, and just so you can see what we're doing, I'm gonna, we'll fill it in with black, but I'm just gonna say scan for emergency contact. And then let's just fill this in with black for right now. We'll get rid of that outline. And then you can decide what font you want to use. Whoops, I don't want that. So make that a bit smaller. And I want this to just fit right on here. We'll center it. Make it a little bit smaller. We're gonna be cutting the text out of heat transfer vinyl, so just keep that in mind. You don't want these to be too terribly small. I think that looks good, and then you can choose whatever font that you would like. And you know me, I'm on a Love Vibes kick, so I'll be grabbing my Love Vibes font. And look at that. So need to make that a little bit smaller. And I'm just going to come up here and change that font. Looks like we're at, let's go to 24. And it looks like that's going to fit in here perfectly. And maybe I want to write emergency contact. Let's do this. Emergency contact info. There, I like that better. Okay, let's center all of these. I guess it doesn't really matter that much right now. Center. Nope, just kidding. That's not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to center it. I want to center this left and right. Let's try that. There we go. Okay. So we've got everything set up here. Looks good. All we're going to do, pull this over to the side. And I'm going to cut this piece out of pink faux leather. And then this I'm cutting out of a pink, it's like a pinkish foil HTV. So let's go ahead and get things set up for cutting. I'm going to pull that off the mat for right now. And then we're going to come to the send panel. And then you can decide where you want this on there. So let's get everything set up on our silhouette. So I've got everything over here. Oops, I didn't mean to leave that out. So here is my here's my foil heat transfer vinyl that we're going to use. I've got a scrap here of my faux leather, and then I've got my sticky mat, and I've got some transfer tape out. So the reason I have transfer tape out here is because I want to protect my mat from all this fuzziness. So what I like to do is take this transfer tape and we're going to put it down with the sticky side facing up on our mat here to just protect our sticky mat. So you've seen me do this before, and if you've watched my previous videos on how to make faux leather keychains, we're going to use the same process here, and then I can fold this down, and I'm just going to get this stuck on here. And then now I know between the three, I don't have to do my whole mat with this because this is not coming all the way down. So I'm just going to cut it off here at the 9-inch mark. And then I will know where I need to place that heart shape on here. I'm just going to get this cut down. Okay, so that is well covered. And then we can just go ahead and load this in. Oh, I didn't even turn my machine on. 3-second hold on the new machines to turn it on and off. This little bit right here is going to cause me some problems, I can tell. So I'm just going to cut this top bit off. There. So it will stick just to our mat, hopefully. Okay. So I have between the 3 and the 8-inch mark here is where we can place our faux leather. We can go ahead and load that in. And then let's go back to Silhouette Studio and get that set up. Okay, so I said, let's come back to the design between the 3, we'll zoom out, the 3-inch, which is right here, and then the 8-inch, which is right here in this. If it doesn't fit, we can go ahead and turn her sideways, no big deal. And then that'll fit just fine right there. So we can come over to that sun panel. We're gonna use the standard because we're just cutting the whole thing. And then I'm going to come down here to other, and then we should find our faux leather. Nope. Let's try leather. Come on. Well, let's try. Okay, we'll scroll. Here, faux leather paper. Leatherette. I'm going to do a blade of 7, speed of 3, force 33, 2 passes, and then that looks good. Okay, so everything here looks good, and then we can just go ahead and hit send. It's going to give us a little reminder. We can hit send again, and then it's going to get everything cut out here where we want it. So I'm not going to make you sit here and watch it cut out. Let's go get everything else set back up. So back here, let's come back to design. We can zoom out. We can get this off of our mat, and then we can bring in this guy here, and let's finish this. So we're going to come over to the modify panel, and we're just going to weld everything together. And what that does is now it looks like individual letters because nothing was overlapping. So the next thing I'm going to do is hit make compound path. And then you'll see when I hit that, all of those individual bounding boxes is now one big bounding box around this entire thing. So that's exactly what I want. And I have a big old sheet of HTV, so I'm going to put this guy up here, and then I'm going to give it a weeding box so that I don't waste a lot of HTV. So I'm just going to do a 2-inch weeding box. I liked the size of that. And now we can come over to our send panel, and then we do want it to cut out each individual letter. We're going to get this set up, and we're going to use heat transfer vinyl, and we want metallic, blade depth of 3, force 33, speed 5, 1 pass. Okay, so we're going to use those baseline. So that's ready. Everything looks good. Our machine's done cutting. Let's take a look. So before I pull this off of here, I do want to just check that it cut through. We're going to check the corner. That looks great. We can go ahead and unload. And then I'm going to just take it off there with that backing. We can deal with that in a minute. And then for HTV, we forgot we need to mirror that before we cut it. You want to put the pretty side down that has the carrier sheet. So we put this on kind of upside down, backwards. And this this mat's really not sticky at all. So I am gonna pull in some handy dandy masking tape. It is time for me to restick all of my mats. And as you saw last week, we tested 2 different kinds of ways to restick a cutting mat, and I will now have to do that with more mats because you can get a little extra life out of them. If you have not seen that video, I will link it below in the description so you can go check that out. But I'm just going to give this tape down all the sides. Let's cut this in half. Well, that wasn't exactly in half, was it? That didn't really do me any good. Let's see. Got a piece right here. That should be good enough. So we'll go ahead and load this in, and then we'll go back and mirror our design, and then this will be ready to rock and roll. So let's go mirror. I tell you, I try to hurry and then forget things. So we're gonna take both of these, I'm gonna right click, group them together, then let's mirror our design. Doesn't matter, right, left, whatever you wanna do. We'll get rid of that original, and then I'm gonna put this guy right about here because I got that tape on there. That should be just fine. We already did all of our settings. Everything looks good. Everything's loaded in, and now we can just hit send. And it's gonna give you this reminder that it's HTV. We're gonna send as is because we've already mirrored, and then we can send. Okay, so while that's cutting, we can go ahead and peel this off of here. I can save the rest of that heat transfer for later, or I'm sorry, leather for later. And then there's this, and that's gonna look beautiful. So now what we need to do is work on programming our NFC stickers. So in order to do that, you are going to need your phone, and on your phone you're going to need a lovely app called NFC Tools. Okay, so we're here on the phone, and I've got this NFC Tools app here. I'm just going to go ahead and open that, and then here you can see you can read, write, and you can look at your saved tags. So what we're going to be doing is writing on this, and so we're going to come over to write. Now here's the cool part. You're going to add a record. There are tons of different kind of records you can do. You can just do regular text. You can do a URL, your social links, a file. You can set it up to open an email so they can start to write you contact information, phone number, FaceTime, location, address, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi code. I mean, there's so many things. So I like to think of this NFC tag like the new version of a QR code. And for this one, I'm going to do, I know we're doing a contact, but I'm going to do this as a URL. And because this is an emergency contact, we're going to do the URL for my one-on-one coaching, which is my Silhouette SOS. So I've got that on here, and we're writing that record, and I'm just going to hit OK. And then now what we need to do is hit right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab one of my little stickers here, and then you're just going to hit right. It's gonna bring this up to scan. You scan down the left side, and then you can see you get the check mark. It's all done, it's on there. So now this little guy is ready. And if you want to check it, all you have to do with your phone still on, go ahead and read that. You have a built-in reader on your phone. Might not be able to do it while I'm recording. Let's see. So now I'll just kind of show you, if I scan this on here, you can see now it opened up this little tab here, and it's going to bring me right to the website, which is the sales page, and then where you can purchase your Silhouette SOS 30-minute coaching call. So this sticker is ready to rock and roll. All I'm going to do is place it right here in the center of my keychain. And I'm gonna go ahead and apply my keychain. We're gonna have to fold this up a little bit, see if we can't get it on here. I have to do a lot of folding. Okay, and then I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna not get glue right on there. I'm using my Allianz OK to Wash permanent fabric adhesive. This is gonna take some time to dry, a good 24 hours at least. Ooh, that's a lot. Spread that out. Comes out generous, that's for sure. And I'm just gonna spread that around, try to get around the edges really well. And then I'm just going to leave that area open, kind of right where that's going to go. That looks good. Oops. And then we can go ahead and just close this up. Oh, you know what? I probably should have put our heat transfer on here first because we've got this metal. Well, I guess we'll find out if extreme heat ruins our little sticker. So do your heat transfer on here first before you put this all together. So that is just gonna, I'm just gonna set my phone over it to give that time to dry. Now let's go ahead and pull this out. We've got our piece up here, and we can pull this off the mat. I'm confident in these cut settings. I use them all the time. So not too worried about checking my cut here. And then I just have to weed out this little section. So I'm just going to grab this big weeding box. And then I can peel this off. So I think these are a great option for kids. You can put it on their backpack and then put all of your contact information on there. You can put it on your own keychain. The iPhones have an emergency SOS that you can have all of your information, like your emergency contacts, your medical information. This would be another option of a different way that you could do that. In case somebody couldn't find your phone or get into your phone, and then you could put this on your keychain or however you want to do that. So that looks good. And then I'm just going to trim this little box out. And then we can head over to the heat press. So let me get the heat press ready and I'll meet you over there. Okay, we've got everything set up here on the heat press. Let's make sure you can see. Sorry about that. I've got it over the edge because I don't want to heat that up too much. I already did a quick like 3-second pre-press here to see how this is gonna work. And I'm just gonna slap this right there. Let's turn this my direction so I can maybe attempt. Yeah, that looks pretty center actually. I like that. And then I'm just gonna try to move this so it's all in the right place. Press that down. Try to leave this off to the edge, and then I'm gonna fold this over so I don't get any glue or anything on there. And we're doing 255 degrees for 30 seconds. So here we go. Okay, it's all done. Can move this carefully. Yeah, I thought some glue would maybe roll out of there, but hey, that helped it glue better too. Okay, so this is all done. This is going to be a cool peel so we can move this back to our workstation and continue on over there. Okay, I off screen press that one more time for another 30 seconds. I think just with it being on the edge instead of in the center, you know, the heat is probably not quite as even on the edges as it is in the center. But we can just peel that right on off. Okay, that looks pretty darn good, I think. And then to clean up the rest of this, I kind of think that's a fun idea to get the glue going in the right place. That looks much better. And then I'm just gonna come in here with my scissors. Looks like things did not line up perfectly, and I'm just gonna line them up a little bit more perfectly because now that I've pressed it, there's no undoing these edges. So I definitely would recommend doing your pressing before you're gluing. I just got excited and got ahead of myself. Imagine that. That sounds like something most crafters probably do, doesn't it? So order of operations, cut everything out, use your heat press to apply your HTV, then you can add your tag and glue this closed. So I'm just cleaning this out with some scissors since this did not align perfectly after pressing it because there's no undoing it to realign it at this point. And I think that's really neat that adding all that heat, now I don't feel like I have to wait 24 hours for that glue to dry because that just forced it. So how's that for a glue drying tip? Put your things in the heat press, dry them out. So now for the real moment of truth, we're gonna have to see if we can still scan this. So let me switch cameras so I can use my phone and see if it'll scan. Okay, moment of truth. We'll take it over the scanner. Oh my gosh, and even after all that heat, it opens up and takes me to the web page. So how cool is that? Well, what did you think? This is a really fun idea. It has lots of implications for what you can use this for, not just for emergency contact, though I think that's great for kids, especially as we're thinking about going back to school. But there's lots of information on the internet for how to use these to do all sorts of things in your house, like make it turn on a light, open the garage door, open door. I mean, you can go wild and down a deep, dark tunnel of information about these NFC tags. But make sure you like and subscribe this video. And before you go, I just want to say, if you're wanting to know a little bit more about your crafting personality, check out the quiz I have below. You can grab that at craftychristiescreations.com/quiz. All right, that's what I have for you today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.